This is Thank You Mama, weekly lessons for mothers all around the world. Hello and welcome to Thank You Mama. My name is Anna Teider. My guest today is Fabiana Hoy. Fabiana is an interior architect and she was born and raised in Lima in Peru. She was educated in Milan in Italy, and currently she lives with her husband in Johannesburg in South Africa. Hi, Fabiana. Welcome.
Hola, Anna. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited we are doing this. We've been trying to coordinate for quite many months.
Yes.
And
Finally, we are here.
Finally, we are here. And we had a beautiful pre-conversation. So I'm very, very excited to talk to you today. Tell me a little bit about your work and about you.
Okay, well, I am an interior architect, as you said, but I stopped doing interiors when I moved to South Africa 11 years ago. But I couldn't stop with my creativity, so I did a lot of exploring and researching about design and creative minds in South Africa, which I'm very fascinated by. And one day I found a shop with this beautiful fabrics that I've seen the African women wearing in their beautiful attires. And I've always been fascinated by looking at them and how beautiful they are. And now I found this shop and I said, I should do something with these fabrics, especially because I thought to myself, why no more women are wearing these fabrics, right? So I started a journey of making what I call lifestyle kimonos. So I started being involved in fashion, which I was involved in fashion years ago as well. I guess it's a little bit of a lifestyle thing. So I do those kimonos. I call the Fabiana Hoy kimonos that I sell on social media. And I am also creative director for a brand in the States. We sell furniture and lighting. So I'm still in my interior design kind of industry. And I'm also involved opening some doors for a Peruvian brand here in South Africa. And it's about swimwear and resort wear. So it's also fashion. So I would say that I'm in the creative industry for lifestyle.
Tell me a little bit about fashion in Peru. This sounds very distant to me, I'd never heard of a Peruvian brand. Is there fashion in Peru, and what is it like?
There is fashion. There is amazing fashion, I would say. And this is a very interesting parallel to me because I found South Africa very similar to Peru in this matter. We are very proud of our cultural background, which is inspiring to do a lot of things for designers. But also we are very world-class in imagination and quality. We are a textile country, so we have beautiful cottons and weaving and lots of colors. So fashion is amazing. You can find brands from footwear to women. You can name it. Now we have everything. The industry in the last 20 years, of course, has evolved a lot. Mm-hmm, and I think that this is kind of a similar parallel to South Africa from my understanding, where sometimes feels that resources are very limited. Now the world has opened up and we can do basically everything.
I never knew this about Peru. I never knew that it's a cotton and textile producing country.
Yes, big.
You live and learn. What is happening politically?
We do have a big social conflict at the moment because everything is very in politics, like it should be on one side or the other side. Nobody can kind of coming into a middle point. And the president that we elected 2 years ago, let's say it won the elections. We don't know if it was in the right way or not. A lot of people unhappy, a lot of people happy. But he had an attempt of basically closing the parliament. Mm-hmm. And trying to create a new constitution. So He basically, he's in jail now and there's a new president. But it's very messy, a lot of fights and people destroying things. It's not great. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of mess everywhere in the world right now. It's crazy.
It is.
But
It is.
yeah. But let's go to more fun things. So,
Yes.
I don't know if we said that already, but your husband is from Zimbabwe originally. And when you moved to South Africa and stopped working in interior design, this was because you had a baby.
Yes. I have two now. I have two boys now. Jacob is 10 and Benjamin is 8.
How did you get used to South Africa?
Oh, well, I think we need another session for that. I would say
true.
that life and love brought me to South Africa, and I can confirm that it was my destiny.
Even with power cuts, 6 hours a day.
Even with power cuts, yes. I mean, how interesting. Oh, do I choose power cuts, or I choose my options are power cuts or social and political big problems?
Yeah.
I can live with power cuts.
Let's immediately jump into talking about mom. Mom's name is Maria del Rosario, but you said she has a nickname, a short for Rosario.
Yes, so we call her Chari, which is a common way to call ladies are Rosarios.
Charis. And she is in her 70s now, and she was born and raised in Peru.
Yes, in Lima.
Tell me about her. How did she grow up? How did she meet your dad? Give me her story.
Oh, well, my mom has, I would say, a very interesting, beautiful story. She met my dad when she was 13 and got married at 19. They are still together. Of course, a lot of things in the middle can happen. Interesting journey for all of us. And she comes from a very traditional conservative family. And then my father being now he's a retired general from the Air Force. Because of his job, we lived in different places, not in Lima. So, for example, I grew up in the south of Lima on the coast in a military base. And this is very related to when I told you how I was thinking when I said I need my mom so much and I'm by myself being a mom. And I said, but my mom was also far away from her mother.
Oh.
How did she do that?
Are there big distances in Peru?
The distance wasn't big, but you are not in the same city.
Yeah. She's not there, yeah.
So the availability of being together wasn't like on a daily basis. And she got 3 kids, raised them by herself, also fun. And then I realized that the way we lived in this military base, it was a big community. And all the women, they were very young, much younger than when I became a mother, for example. And they lived together, they raised their kids together, they were having like kind of the same lifestyle, different paths, all of them, and they became amazing friends. Like they were like sisters or mothers, to the other ladies. So I think that was a key factor for successful motherhood. One of the parts that are very important for being a good mother. No, my mom was always present. She dedicated her life to her husband, her home, and her family. But I think the balance and having other women around make her life happier and easier in a way. No, there's entertaining, they're sharing, the kids are playing together, entertaining themselves. So yeah, I think that was key factor, and that was my big realization, a real realization for me. How important is that? I can tell you now in her 70s, she's still seeing a lot of these ladies.
The same ladies from back then.
Yes, okay. They are very good friends. They love and respect each other, and they have grown together, which is amazing.
That's the advantage of not moving. Sometimes, I think so much about, the fact that I've been moving countries so often and how beautiful that is in one way, because it opens your eyes and makes you so much more open to everything. And every time you move, you feel refreshed and young again. But on the other hand, it has its negative sides, which is you don't have these people around you that you grew up with. It's beautiful to everything's beautiful. It's beautiful to stay in one place and have people that you grew up with around you, but it's also beautiful to go and explore.
Yes, 100%. And I think everybody has his own journey, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
whatever your journey is, you make it the
Yes.
best that you can possibly can.
Yes, yes. So she's happy now. Your dad is retired, I'm guessing.
Yes.
She's meeting with her ladies and enjoying life.
She's good. She has an active social life, a lot of girlfriends around, and she has lots of energy. She looks great. She's healthy. She's enjoying her grandchildren. There's two. I have two nieces back in Lima, so she's very well entertained with them, and continuously giving love and caring for everybody around her. It's amazing.
Do you get to see her because you're far away from her?
I am very far away. So last time I saw her was August last year. We spent 6 weeks together after all this COVID thing that kept us apart for 2 or 3 years, I think. Yeah, we tried to see each other once a year. So now we are planning to be together in September, in August this year. If everything goes well, we will spend some time again together this year. Yeah, it's necessary, I must say. It makes such a difference. I mean, you can make your life far away, but it's so important to every now and then go to your roots, put your feet, recharge, and touch your soil, right? And hack and recharge yourself.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting how, for me, it's the same thing. I go back to the island where my family comes from in Croatia. And I know it sounds kitschy, but it's really like this feeling of my feet touch this ground and I'm home, and it's,
100%.
You just connect to this and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is reconnecting to yourself, actually, where you are from.
It makes me sad for all the people who immigrated and were never able to come back home. My great-grandfather left the island in 1924, I think. He moved to the States thinking, like many people do, I'll just earn some money and go back. But he never ever went back. It breaks my heart.
I know. It's hard. But yeah, definitely going back to my mom, it is a thing that I cannot live with. I mean, I can't. In those 3 years that I couldn't see her were especially hard for me. Not because life was difficult or nothing different, but it's just emotionally, you need that. I personally need that. And it's like now that I was there in August, I hug her and say, okay, I'm going with a little bit of sadness, but the amount of joy and energy and happiness that I have inside me, I'll come back when that is like gone. I need to come back. It brings you more life.
Yeah. Do you WhatsApp with her or Skype with her? Do you talk to her a lot?
Yes, on a daily basis.
Yes, that's what I did with my mom every single day.
Yes. Actually, something very nice that I do on a daily basis is I join her praying group every day. That is led by her. So we pray together for half an hour. And then we chat during the day. But we see each other every day.
Oh, wow. What does a praying group look like?
Oh, well, again, it's another tribe. It's a group of ladies that are growing together in their spiritual journey.
Does one person say a prayer and then everybody kind of quietly meditates on this? Or do many people join in with different prayers? What does it look like praying for 30 minutes? In a group?
Oh, well, so we pray the rosary.
Okay.
So we follow the Catholic faith. So this is a specific session for praying the rosary. And in this case, we do it via Zoom. There's other ways to do it, obviously, in person as well. But this particular session is via Zoom. My mom leads it with someone else. And everybody follows. And there's meditations and prayers that you follow. That's pretty much like how it works. And it lasts like half an hour.
How many women do it?
It's around 40, 45.
That's a big group of women praying together.
Yes.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yes. And when we celebrate a birthday, usually there's more people coming or
that's
something.
Beautiful.
It is. It really is beautiful. I can say that also. I cannot live without that.
Yeah, well, you get used to it. It's like my meditation also. If I don't meditate every day.
Yes.
I think we already slid into learning from her gently, didn't we?
Yes. And the most amazing thing,
Tell me.
I believe, is that our moms, and I'm going to talk specifically about mom, they are always teaching us, but without teaching.
Yeah,
right?
They model to us.
Yes. So that is a big inspiration, I guess.
Yeah. Tell me about what you feel are the most important things you've learned from her.
Oh, well, I think the most important one is faith, something also that I started appreciating like in my adult life, not maybe when I was a young adult. But my mom taught me about how important it is to have other women around, this tribe concept that we are discussing. Mm-hmm. Something that I love as well is the appreciation of little things and how you can make your eyes always see something good or something beautiful, like finding beauty. And I think that's, for me, it's a big one because I actually live doing those things, mm-hmm. right? I remember on a post on Instagram about my kimonos, you commented, and I said, yeah, there's a lot of my mom in here as well. Like, for example, I remember going to the market in this small town that I grew up on a desert. It was beautiful, but in a very basic way. But we always look at it in a beautiful, and there's nothing particularly really pretty there. Mm-hmm. But for example, going to the market was their thing, and we're always looking to find fabrics. My mom was making dresses for herself, finding a beautiful color or a beautiful pattern. And now I'm fascinated by these things and how to create and then make yourself also pretty. My mom always making her home, bringing fresh flowers, setting the table to have breakfast with the girlfriends. And all of these things had a huge impact in my life. I mean, I don't live without seeking for beauty. I can't.
That reminds me of my mom. My mom was the same way. Everything was always celebrated, you know, and even going to a local supermarket was an experience. Taking your dog for a walk was like everything, not only visual experience and looking for beauty visually, but just finding these beautiful and happy moments in life in everyday situations.
Yes, and interaction with people. How she interacted with other people was also something that I always admire. Yeah. And being kind and gentle and smiling. Yeah. I think the smile can make a huge difference. Yeah, that for me is very important.
I'm trying to practice that myself. I'm practicing my mom's lessons as well. Tomorrow, my friends are coming over for breakfast. And I always, when I'm hosting, I always remember how my mom would set a table and, as you say, buy flowers. And there was so much joy in it. And people appreciate it. And it's celebrating life together.
Yes, and also showing love and care for the person that you are going to be to make them feel special. Yeah. I think my mom has that great capacity that's always making everybody feel special.
You talked about love for others as a lesson you learned from her as well.
Yes, and this is kind of maybe the personality or the way she lives her life in a very simple way, but the simple ways or the simple things become really amazing. Like just how you talk to another person, how you treat the other person, and suddenly you can generate a beautiful connection with that person. And my mom ends up knowing about the life and the problems of other people and actually finding ways to help. And she's involved in lots of charity programs. So she's constantly visiting and selling things and collecting things for kids. And every Christmas, there's special events of charity that she's helping and supporting, sometimes leading.
Is that connected to her faith?
Yes, it's very connected to it. Yes. But I think, I mean, giving your time and yourself with such a beautiful energy and a beautiful attitude, it's big. It is big. And I really admire that.
Reminds me of my mom. It's cute how we all have one same mom, more or less.
Yes, I love that. And maybe this is why
you know what I loved? What I especially loved with my mom is like everybody was her friend. She treated everybody with this awe and love, and every
yes.
single person who entered the apartment, you know, a plumber would come in, or I don't know, a cleaning lady, and they were treated the same way, like her best friends. And she got that back from these people. She, you know, then this appreciation becomes mutual appreciation, and grows into, I'm coming back to celebrating life.
Yes, yes. Birthdays, for example, and that sounds also that is big for me. Birthdays were a big celebration, and don't understand this as a huge party. It was an intentional celebration and being present and acknowledging someone else's life and the happiness that life brings to her or to others, and again making that person feel very special. We love birthdays.
I
In
do
my
too.
home, everything is
Yes.
about birthdays.
I do too.
and again, it comes very related to this way of seeing life.
Definitely. I want to ask you something. Many of my guests who talk about these moms that are there for their family and other people, and charity and kind to other people, many of those guests say, but she never took a break and never took care of herself. What about your mom?
That's an interesting question. I have memories of always with my mom. At home, my mom was always there. Under every circumstance was there. I can also remember socializing. I think she actually have a quite balanced life. I think, again, I'm going to go back to the concept of a tribe. She was always with other women. So maybe that was a space to decompress and to balance all this giving and all this time for others. That's why for me that's very important. It's so easy, especially nowadays where we want to be moms, wives, business, and this and that and that. It's really hard, and finding balance also for me comes in like not only a time for yourself, but time to share with other women and to share what's happening with you, right?
Yes.
To find some support, to have happy moments and maybe some very sad moments as well.
Was there anything she didn't teach you, or something you wish she did?
Oh, yes. I think I wished my mom was a little, not that my mom wasn't open-minded, because she always supported all my decisions, which I think was great, because as I said, my mom comes from a very conservative space. But maybe having more open conversations, as like women conversations, you know, those conversations that you can have about everything, about, okay, not that this is right, this is wrong, this is how you should navigate world, this is this, giving lessons, but more about, okay, how are the lessons working? I'm actually not following any lesson at the moment, and I'm feeling like this. I wish I had more. I don't think my mom is used to those conversations.
Do you mean the experience of being a woman, basically, the experience of life as a woman?
Yes.
Would that include also your body and your sexuality and that part?
Yes, of course. Being a woman, part of being a woman is your sexuality, not a big one. So, I think that could be a little bit helpful.
More navigating the life as a woman in all of its aspects.
Yes,
all of its experiences.
Your thoughts and experiences. And I think I can get a little bit more of that.
Yeah. When you say she grew up in a conservative environment, was this also very Catholic?
Yes. But also my grandmother, which was also an amazing woman, and also very advanced and thinking forward for for her time. Both of my grannies actually got married in the mid of their 20s, which wasn't the case for most ladies. They worked, so they were moms, and they went to somewhere to work and things like that. But always my grandmother, particularly this one, my mom's mom, was very strict, very like, the rule is like this, and you don't go out of that line. Like, for example, I don't know, I think there's a story that my mama and my dad were engaged and wanted to go to the movies, but still she cannot go by herself with her fiance, things like that, right? Or because my grandparents from my dad's side, they got divorced, she wasn't very happy about a man that came from a divorced couple or things like that. So that kind of conservative.
Yeah, you have to be able to navigate that as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I said my mom is in her own way. She's very open and accepting everybody's circumstances, right? Because that's the beauty of it. It's not about what you think, but it's about the love, just a natural love and respect for others. So I think that's very important.
And maybe coming from such a conservative circumstances, you do tend to be different and open up more and see, try to correct the negative sides of being overly conservative and strict.
Yes. And you find your own way to navigate life, right?
Yeah.
And to make it a little bit more balanced.
Yeah.
But so my mom got married very young, and again, dedicated life for her family, which I think also from the daughter or kid's perspective, it's very positive. No, we don't living the sacrifices that can bring for a woman. But for the kids, I think it's quite amazing. We all kids want our mothers around.
Yeah, I know, but you see, it's interesting how different the experiences are. I grew up with a mom who always had a career and always worked and had her social life, and there were things lacking for me when I was growing up. There was no structure necessarily. There was no, I don't remember breakfasts together or dinners. And when I went to school and other kids had sandwiches mom packed, I got some money to buy something on the way to school, And when I was much younger, I was upset about this. It took me quite a while to realize how amazing it is that I have a mom who modeled that for me, that a woman can have her passions and professional passion, I'm going to say, her career and her work. And later on, I forgave her, for all the things I didn't have, because this is what I did have. And I grew up with a mom who had 2 successful careers in her life and her social life and things. So it's beautiful that there's no right and wrong. I think that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Whatever you decide to do, if you stand behind it and do it with love, there's no right and wrong.
Yes, exactly. And we all do things and navigate life without being conscious of, I'm doing this and the impact on the other person is going to be that. So there's not intention, right? I'm sure we all as mothers do our best.
Yeah.
And actually sometimes I must say something that hit with me is like, my mom always make it look so easy. And I'm like, God, let's be honest, can't be that easy. I am struggling here. And so that also brings other issues like perfection, being perfect and all of that, that also becomes quite challenging as well. No? So, but I think nowadays, I mean, we had opportunities that our mothers didn't have, that our grandmothers didn't have.
Yes.
And probably the girls that are coming will have even more opportunities. We can choose whatever we want. And that's really amazing. I do believe that there's time for everything. And whatever we can choose to do, well, let's choose it. This is the right time for that. And then we can move on. We also are experiencing that nothing is fixed or forever. We are going to change, changing on every decade.
Yes.
So this time I'm a mother, I'm going to go for it 100%. Then I can retake on my career.
Yes.
I can even change my career. Whatever I decide to do, I mean, there are ways to make it. And if you choose one, that's okay. If you choose 2 or 3 or you want to change, that's also okay.
Yeah.
I think we just need to show love and respect.
That's what my mom was always very consciously trying to teach me. She always, because I was always very impassionate, like I never had patience. I wanted everything to happen right now and, be perfect now. And she always kept telling me, slow down, A, and B, especially in a woman's life, there are phases. As you say, you can do it all. You don't have to do it all at the same time. You can have a phase where you dedicate your time to your child. You can have a phase where you're only concentrating on your career. You'll have a phase where maybe you will not want to do anything, So
Yes.
I think it's very big and very important for us women to remember that especially our lives come in phases and that it's okay to change. It's totally fine to change. We're not stuck in one thing forever.
I think it's okay and even necessary. Yeah. It's part of our own evolution, right?
Yes.
And what are we becoming to be, hopefully for good. Yeah, I think that's beauty in it.
Absolutely. Fabiana, thank you so much for sharing your mamachari.
Oh, thank you.
Let's recap very quickly. So we spoke about faith, and I just love your praying group. I love the idea of the praying group that you do. And I want to mention faith as not necessarily Christian faith, but faith. Finding whatever it is that's something bigger than you that helps you navigate life. We spoke about the big topic about the importance of having a tribe of women, whether they are your family or women you grew up with or women you found like you did in a different country, in a different culture. But how very important it is to have that. Finding beauty and good wherever you are, in simple things and in everyday life. We spoke about love for others and charity and acts of kindness and treating others with respect. The importance of being a present mom, which is the last topic we talked about, whatever that looks like for you. And something that she did not teach you, these very important conversations of just navigating life as a woman, what it means and the experience of being a woman.
Yes.
I think that's it. Did I miss something?
No, I think that's all we talk about. I think we can talk for hours, but I would say that these are important for me and the beauty and the reason I love my mom so much.
If you enjoy Thank You Mama and want to help it grow, please take the 2 seconds to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps. If you'd like to get in touch, you can send me a mail at info@thankyoumama.net. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under Anna Teider, that's Tajder. This was Thank You Mama. Come back next week, subscribe, and tell your friends.